Very good evening to everybody. I hope the webinar is live now. Thank you, Mr. John Milton, for giving the access for the webinar. Good evening to all the participants today and who will be watching this webinar afterwards from different parts of the country as well as different parts of the world. Uh, Good evening to all the Indian fellows. Today we are going to discuss about a very interesting topic of research, which we are going to deal with agriculture, and we are going to have a discussion on a very interesting topic, which is very so. I hope the screen is visible to all of you. Let me check once again from the. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening once again. My name is Dr. Anandkumar Naorem, and welcome to all of you to the webinar from the Agrowgrad. Thank you to the team of Agrowgrad, especially Mr. John Milton, for inviting me for this specific lecture. And today we are going to share about a specific topic called cactus farming, with a specific topic of how it is affecting in a climate changing world. So, starting with my own introduction, my name is Dr. Anandkumar Naorem, and I'm working as a scientist. If you want to understand about my research as well as our kind of work that we have been doing in our institute and our ministry, you please Google. I hope that you can Google and you can get all the papers. Uh, and I would love to have an interaction with the audience if you want to further understand today's topic or any kind of topic that I deal with. If you see, in a nutshell, I can tell you that I worked with different departments and different sections of soil science in agriculture. I have an expertise in soil toxicology, which is basically for the heavy metal remediation, land use soil quality, then greenhouse gas emission from the soil, PGPRs, making consortium, halophytes, and dryland fodder. So please don't hesitate to contact me if you have any issues or if you want to know further regarding the research in these areas. Please mail me. So starting with the webinar in our specific topic, we are going to deal with what comes into your mind when I say cactus. So you must be thinking when you saw the title that this title might not be a good choice in agriculture, but it is. So this kind of keywords can be visible to you when you get the word called cactus, a vivid image of a very spiny plant. You need to avoid your children from this cactus plant, and you plant this cactus in form of boundary or fence, or you use it as an ornamental plant, or people used to plant it for beautiful flowers that bloom in the night. But most of the people, we don't understand that there is a cactus which is also spineless, although is a small spines called glochids, but mostly this spineless cactus look spineless, thornless without the spines. So today we are going to cover this evening in a very short form, how we are going to deal with spineless cactus and what are the uses, what are the different kind of uses of cactus, and how and why we introduce the spineless cactus in India specifically, and what are the agronomic management of cactus. And we are also going to deal a little bit part of research and extension activities which we have done throughout this whole project. We are not going to dwell very deeply in the research and extension part, but we will love to discuss a little bit, highlight of our research. So the first thing is, what is spineless cactus? How is it very different from the wild spiny cactus? It's not very different, but it is different. So when you say, the obvious reason of the difference is the spines. The spiny cactus has spines and the spineless cactus doesn't have spines. So this is one of the obvious reasons, and there are a lot of concepts and school of thoughts regarding the nutrient content of the spine cactus as well as the spineless cactus. Uh, we could get the information that the spiny cactus has less nutrient content and more alkaloids. That is the bad chemical, which is not good for your health. They are present in the spiny ones as compared to the spineless ones. The scientific name of the spineless cactus, which we are going to discuss today, is Opuntia ficus indica. There are different species of Opuntia, and today we are going to deal with Opuntia ficus indica. You must be asking that what are the different uses of this cactus in different forms. This cactus contains 80 to 90% of water and has a lot of minerals, and it can be used as a green fodder. It can be cooked as a vegetable. The Indian people, we cooked bhindi, okra, or lady's finger. It tastes similar kind of. It has a similar kind of taste and little bit of the consistency like bhindi or okra, with a little pinch of lemony flavor on it. The Mexican people, they grill it, they cut into pieces, then the small ones can be eaten as salad. So we have also cooked it and we have tried it, and it came out to be very wonderful. And moreover, the edible fruits that are produced from the cactus plants are very famous in the international market, and we'll be dealing with that later on in the slides. Another prospects of the cactus is the vegan leather. The vegan leather has been completely uh, the hot topic during this 5 to 6 years, because the fashion industry, the textile industry produces around 0.5 million tons of microfibers every year. So there's a huge issue of environmental pollution, then sustainability, and the people are getting more aware of pollutions, environmental sustainability. So vegan leather is one of the options that has been introduced in this fashion industry. Mr. Adrian and Marty from the Deserto company in Mexico, which we call Mexico, they developed this concept and they started producing this vegan leather, in which they do in a very simple way. They collect the mature plants, the mature cladodes. It's called the leaf of the cactus. They chop it, they smash it, they dry it, then they mix it with a different kind of protein powder, then they roll into sheets like vegan leather. So can be one of the good options in the fashion industry, but there are a lot of controversies related with the vegan leather, and we are not going to deal. We are not going to deal deeply in the vegan leather. But in order to get a prospects and concerns of this kind of product, some section of the people, they are with the support of the vegan leather, and some are against it. Uh, the people who are against it, they are questioning whether it's such a fabric, it's another folk's leather. What about the strength? What about the durability? What about the demand? And what about the price? So these are the factors that need to be addressed in near future if vegan leather produced from the cactus has to be popularized and commercialized in the near future or in the fashion industry. So the other benefits of cactus in different sectors, it's like purification of water as coagulating agents. In a lot of villages in different parts of the world, cactus powder has been used in order to coagulate, in order to purify the water, because it has the property to absorb, to soak these impurities from the water. And like an aloe vera, it contains a good amount of minerals and a good amount of moisturizing agents that can be used in cosmetics and the skincare items, which every people know now. In addition to this, the cactus has been shown to have different medicinal properties. There are a lot of medical research in which the cactus powder has been used in diet in order to improve, in order to treat osteoporosis, in different kind of injuries. So you can go ahead and search all those papers which are related with the cactus and medicinal uses. And obviously, cactus can be grown in different part of stressed areas, which is why they can be used to combat the desertification. And that's why we as a scientist working in arid regions has specifically targeted this kind of crop in order to understand it, in order to exploit it as a crop in the arid environment. This is one of the picture that we have clicked when I was called for a meeting in the Statue of Unity, which is one of the tallest statues in the whole world. So if you get an opportunity to visit the Statue of Unity, there's a beautiful cactus garden where they have a repository of different cactus, and we got the opportunity to see this with the whole team. And our Opuntia ficus indica from ICAR-CAZRI has also its own place in the cactus garden. And the left side, you can see the picture in which they have shown how the consumption of the cactus can help in treating a lot of diseases and affecting a lot of organs positively. So if you want to know further about it, please Google it, read very good papers on it. And I'm not the right person to let you know about this aspect of cactus, but we will try to deal with the green fodder. We will try to understand nutritional aspects of cactus in terms of fodder and livestock. Why cactus? Why CAM? Why we have targeted the cactus? Cactus is a CAM plant. CAM is crustacean acid metabolism. In a simple word, if we have to understand crustacean acid metabolism, is like they are very this cactus or those plants which are following the CAM pathway. They are very intelligent. They understand when to take a breathing. For example, most of the crops they breathe, they do transpiration between the daytime. That's why the stomata opens in the daytime and lots of water used to get lost. But in terms of cactus, in terms of pineapple, which are cane plants, they understand, they keep their mouth shut, close during the daytime, during the high temperature, and in the night time they open their stomata and they breathe. And there is a lot less loss of water in the cactus plant or in the cane plants. So that's why a lot of people, a lot of a group, a good amount of a good section of scientists in the whole world have been studying the cane plants, because this may be the future of our new of our food production in the near climate changing world, because there is an increase in temperature, there's an increase of carbon dioxide, there's a pollution going on. So this kind of crops can be exploited to give a supply of food and further in the coming future. Why name Upanishad? It's very interesting. There are different school of concepts, but one of the concepts that has been popularized is there is a place called Opus. The Opus is a place where whatever you jam into the soil, the plant it will grow very easily. It may be due to the good soil, it may be due to the good environment, the temperature, and everything. But it's not the same plant. It's not from the same. The Opuntia was not discovered from Opus, but since Opuntia can be grown in different parts, in different types of soils and environment, because it's a very hardy plant, it can be grown in poorly developed soils as well. That's why the Opuntia came as a good name for this plant. You must be asking why we introduced spineless cactus in India, because in India we have a variety of different crops, and now we're introducing a new crop which is also a cactus, which was, I think, most people won't accept it. Yes, there are so many reasons, and I'll be telling the reasons why we have introduced spineless cactus in India. You must be asking why the dryland areas, the arid regions or the semi-arid regions, we receive very less annual precipitation or rainfall. So in these places, cactus pear can survive in these arid regions and semi-arid regions. So a cactus is a good choice for these reasons. If they say during the driest season there is a lack of green fodder, then cactus can help you, because cactus is a perennial crop and they can provide fodder all year round. Another somebody says like it is a very new crop and we have grown it. We have seen it growing in the boundaries or in the fence, but we've never tried to cultivate it. It's a new crop, no idea. We say you don't need to worry about it. It's very easy to cultivate. This is one of the most easiest crop to cultivate in the in the present time. There are small scale farmers who you wants to invest very less with less inputs. Obviously, this cactus pears require very minimum inputs, and we are going to discuss about it in the coming slides as well. They also need a good feed required for the dryland livestock. This cactus, they are very rich in minerals and nutrients, which we will be discussing a little bit in our coming slides as well. What about the limitation of the water supply from livestock? So I have been working in Gujarat and Rajasthan since 5 years, and I came across a lot of places where there is a limitation of water supply. So in these areas where there is a shortage of water for drinking as well as for the purpose of agriculture, I think cactus can perform very well, because cactus not only consumes less water, but it also reduces the water intake of cattle when it is given as a feed to the cattle. So what we do as a scientist in ICAR-CAZRI in cactus research, we have an international project funded by ICARDA, and in this project we have done rigorous work in different sections of the project. For example, we have done good research on soil, fodder, fruit and nutrients. We have a good publications which you will be able to read it in the Google. It's available. Some are open access and some are not. And if you want to read the full paper, you can please let me know through the email or through the research kit. There is also a germplasm maintenance of 62 spineless cactus in ICAR-CAZRI in the station of both Gujarat as well as in the Rajasthan. We have also a good laboratory where we try to understand the cactus as a crop, the chemistry, the biology, the kind of soil, the kind of environment that is needed in the cactus cultivation. And not only this, we also have some social activities where we train the farmers, we distribute the cactus cladles to the farmers, and we let them grow. We let them understand that this is not a new crop, but this is a crop that has been existing since ages, but we need to understand that how it can be utilized. So today what we'll be discussing, and today what we won't be discussing. The first thing we are going to discuss about is the total package of practice on cactus cultivation. After this presentation, after this webinar, whenever you see this webinar, you'll be able to know how we are going to grow the cactus. It's very easy. You will be able to know how to feed the cactus to the kettle, how we are going to procure it. You can contact us and you can take the seedlings, the cactus cladodes as well. What are the benefits of feeding cactus? What we are not going to discuss is about the detailed scientific results of our research projects. If you want to know the detailed scientific results of this research trials, you can either contact me or you can Google the papers that we have published in this specific sections of cactus research. Why we do feeding of the cactus to the cattle, it's not just a source of good fodder, but as I've also mentioned that it also reduces the water intake of the cattle. It's very important in a region like Gujarat and Rajasthan where there is a limitation of the water and water is a limited resource. And it also improves the milk quality and quantity. There are a lot of research where they have tried to understand the feeding of the cattle improves the milk quality. Still, there are a lot of controversies regarding that, but generally we came to know that it improves the milk quality and quantity as well. It also provides a series of essential nutrients, which we'll be discussing. So, after understanding what actually is cactus, how the spineless cactus is different from the spiny ones, let's start planting some cactus for our farm. Where we should plant the cactus? It should be where. Cactus can be planted in any type of soil. It's a very hardy crop, but cactus loves well-drained soil. It doesn't like the soil which are very clayey, which invites a lot of waterlogging because it invites fungal attack or bacterial attack that leads to rotting of the cactus. So as much as possible, try to choose the site or the location where you'll be able to see no waterlogging, there is no frost risks. So, and you also try to avoid some shady ones because cactus plants, they love sunlight. So you should plant the cactus in a place where there is free flow of water, well-drained soil, there is no shade over it, and there is a less frost risks. Can we grow cactus with other crops? Obviously, yes. You can grow cactus as a sole crop, that is a lone crop, and you can grow it as an intercrop. But you should be very aware that it should not compete with the other crops in terms of space, in terms of nutrients, in terms of the other essential factors that helps to grow the intercrops. There should not be any shade of taller plants if you are doing intercropping. When we should plant cactus? To be really honest, cactus can be planted all around the year, but the general thumb of the rule is that cactus should be planted more in summer because the growth is faster in summer as compared to the winter. But when we did a good research in order to understand the plant growth properties of the cactus, we came to know in Kutch area, the July to August is a very good time. June to July, August is a very good time to plant cactus. But be very aware that, very careful that there should not be an accumulation of water around the root zone because in June, July, there is a good rainfall in Gujarat and Rajasthan. So we try to avoid the waterlogging around the root area because it leads to the fungal attack and root rotting of the cactus. How the further quality of cactus cladodes changes with phenological phases means, in the simple language, when we should harvest the cactus. There are three phases of the cactus growth, that is young phase, intermediate phase and mature phase. If you ask me how I will be able to identify young phase, intermediate phase and mature phase, young phase it will be very bright in color, it will have very little water, not that much of water. When you pinch it, you can easily pinch it and the water will come out very easily. In the intermediate phase, it will be a little bit thicker, plumpy in nature. When you pinch it, you need a little bit of pressure, it will be a green in color. In mature phase, the skin or the pill of the cladode will be a little bit thicker, it will be dark green in color, and you need a good pressure to make the water ooze out from the plant, from the cladode. So in the intermediate phase is the best phase where you can cultivate, where you can harvest this cactus and you can feed to the cattle. But for the young phase, you can use it as a vegetable or as a salad in your diet. And for the mature phase, you can cut it the cladodes and use it as a propagating material for the cultivation of cactus in your farm. So these are all the parameters that we have identified in order to understand what is the best phase to harvest a cactus plant in a year. These are some of the properties that we try to understand, and after that we came to the conclusion that intermediate phase is the best phase. How to propagate the cactus plant? You have to select the cactus cladode. Cladode is a leaf of the cactus which is from a healthy plant. It should not have any injury, like I'm showing on the left hand side of the picture. It should not be unhealthy. It should have a size of medium to large size from a healthy adult plant. You select it, you cut it. How you cut it? You cut it with a very sharp knife. You make a very sharp edge and you cut it, the cladode from the plant. You can choose either to put it two cladodes attached to a basal cladode, or one cladode, or a single cladode. It's your choice. Then can we plant directly after cutting? No, not at all. After you cut the cladodes, try to keep it in the shade area on a dry surface for around 1 to 2 weeks. 1 to 2 weeks depends on how the callus formation takes place. After you cut the cactus cladodes from the plant, there will be oozing of water from the cut portion. Let the cut portion get healed, because if you put directly this cactus cladodes which are freshly cut into the soil, it will attract fungus, it will attract rotting of the plant. So let the callus heal, let it get dry on a dry surface on a shade, in a shade for 1 to 2 weeks. Just keep on checking for 3 to 4 days, see whether the water stopped oozing from the cut portion of or the callus region. After this, you can plant in two ways. You can plant either in pits or you can plant either in furrows. Planting in pits is completely fine. It depends on how you want to plant it. The depth of each pit may be 30 to 40 centimeter, and the cactus loves organic manure. So if you have organic manure, please incorporate organic manure by 3 to 5 kg per hectare. It's not per the hectare. How to maintain the row to row spacing? It completely depends on the farmer. It completely depends on the cultivator who is trying to cultivate the cactus. There is no specific row to row spacing. But if you want to have a recommendation for the further production, then it is 1 meter to 2 meter. For fruit production, is 3 meter to 4 meter. Just be aware that both the cactus plants which are nearby, they should have enough space for profusely growing, and there should not be any competition between the roots of the plants. This is how you have to plant it. When you have the calloused cladode, half or 2/3 of the cladode must be placed slightly tilted and buried in the soil diagonally. You have to put half or 2/3 of the cladode inside the soil. So now you grow the cactus, you have a mature cladode, and now you collect the mature cladode, you chop the fresh cladode. For the feeding purpose, it should be intermediate cladode. I'm so sorry, I've written mature cladode. It should be intermediate cladode. You cut the fresh cladodes, you chop it up, you mix it with the dry feed, and you feed it to the cattle. The thing why we need to mix it with the dry feed is that cactus contains a lot of oxalate, and it has 80 to 90% of water. So these factors can contribute to animal diarrhea and losing of animal weight. That's why you need to mix it with a dry feed or a fiber in order to supplement the limitations of cactus. That's why we don't directly let the animals feed on the cactus directly, because it creates injury in the plant first of all, and second of all, it can create or it can lead to the diarrhea, animal diarrhea to the cattle. That's why you can mix it with Egyptian clover hay, chickpea straw, grass pea hay, cactus pear, Napier forest, etc. Whatever the green dry feed you have. Do we need to apply water for irrigation? It is a drought-tolerant crop, drought-resilient crop, but in order to have a good productivity of the cactus, you need a supplemental amount of irrigation, 1 to 2 times in summer per month, or 1 time in a month in winter. As I've already stated that cactus loves FYM, so in one of the research we came to know that the cactus responds faster to FYM, organic manure, than the inorganic fertilizers. How you are going to do the pruning? After first year, second year or third year, you'll have a good amount of a good structure of the cactus cladodes all over the plant. You have to prune it so that the cactus cladodes grow very profusely. I would love to say in a very simple way, try to maintain the Mickey Mouse shape. Why? Because as we all know, the Mickey Mouse ear shape has 2 ears, and the cactus cladodes that are being growing between these 2 years has to be taken out. So maintain this Mickey Mouse shape in your plant so that the excess cladodes can be removed, so that there is no competition of space, nutrient, and water, whatever it is, between two cladodes. We also have done a small research, a good amount of research on cactus pear, that is fruit. Why? Because there was a growing curiosity of the entrepreneurs as well as the farmers. Because nowadays, after the dragon fruit, everybody is trying to understand this cactus fruit, and it is more tastier. It has a flavor. It is a kind of it has a flavor of both passion fruit, strawberry, as well as a lemon together. So it's a very good kind of food. There are a lot of claims of village elders that consumption of this fruit is very helpful to the pregnant woman, then people who are suffering from the knee pain, joint pain, and etc. And we need to understand as a research package. So we have done a good amount of work on cactus pear. So this kind of research have indicated that there is cactus pear fruits has good amount of nutrition, and you will be able to see a lot of papers, our papers in the Google if you want to learn in details about this. We have also distributed a lot of cactus in and around Gujarat. This is the data from 2017 to 2021, but till now we have distributed more than 7,000 cladodes to different parts of the country. These are some of the news which was published. These were some of the extension folders, and we also try to develop some documentary movies on the cactus cultivation so that it's easier for people to understand how is it. We have tried to develop it in Hindi, Gujarati, and English. So this is how we have to cultivate the cactus, and I hope that everybody has understood the cactus cultivation, and it's easier. It's very easy. It's very not that difficult to have a cactus plant in your field. It's very less maintenance kind of crop, and for all the researchers and all the scientists, this is kind of a very interesting crop to deal with in the climate changing world. So I hope you have had a good time in this small section of this webinar. And if you have further queries regarding the cactus cultivation or any part of soil science, I would love to address it. And you can mail me or you can reach me through the Agrowgrad team. And thank you so much to all the people who has been watching this webinar and who will be watching this webinar afterwards. And thank you to the team of the Agrograd, Mr. John Milton, and I thank you once again for all the good things and the opportunity that you have been sharing to all of us. So good night to everybody, and